Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? Well, we're in Peyia. That's where we are. We're on the main link road that goes from Coral Bay out towards Sea Caves and, of course, finally ends out in Argos, St George's. You can keep going into the Akamas, but I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to kanaka your car. But you can actually go all the way through the Akamas and you can actually get out on the other side in Polis. How do I know that? Because I've actually done it. And believe it or not, I've actually done it in this car. Yep, I am a complete and utter idiot. But anyway, back to the road. So this is the main road. If you follow the channel, you've seen it quite a few times. And guess what? If you stick with the channel, you're going to learn Peyia like the back of your hand. Why is that? That's because Mr. Paul comes to Peyia every single day, sometimes twice and sometimes 3 times. Why? Because we've got a lot of customers who live out in Peyia. Now, what does Mr. Paul do, you're thinking, if you're new to the channel? Well, got a body shop, car body shop, and a mechanics business. And we dibble and dabble in a bit of car sales as well. But if you do buy a car of us, we promise you that we will always stand by the warranty that we give you. And we will always do our utmost to make sure that your car will always be running. And we do try to give a very, very good service indeed, because we understand it's a very, very small community that we work in, and we like to have a good reputation. And if you ask anybody who deals with us, they'll all say the same thing. They will all say that Mr. Paul is an idiot, don't get me wrong, but they'll all say he'll always bend over backwards, he'll even break his own back to make sure that you're happy. I mean, take the case we're on now. We have a car that's behind us that we're taking back. We fitted a cassette with Peyia because that's what the man wanted, and now he's changed his mind and he's now decided to move with the times and he wants a CD player. So, well, we went back up, got his car, and we're now returning his car, and we have changed it. Now, in the UK, possibly you could take the cassette player and radio back to the shop and get your money back. In Cyprus, those laws don't quite apply. So, well, there you go. This is the way it works. So we're doing all this, and believe it or not, I'm actually going to lose 20 euros plus the time of going up and down 4 times, plus the time and the benzene and that kind of thing. But it doesn't matter, because I've had my hand in his wallet quite a few times, and I'm going to get my hand in his wallet many, many more times in the future. So it's all about service, and it's all about keeping those customers happy, because there's plenty of them, don't get me wrong, but we like to keep every single one of our customers happy. And I'm not just saying that. Generally, I am quite a nice guy. Simple. But like I say, if you upset me, remember, my brother is 6'3". He can punch you very, very hard indeed. Anyway, right, let's get back to it. Where are we? We're on the main road that links Coral Bay, Peyia, out towards Sea Caves and the St George area. And where are we going? Well, we're off to Kathikas. That's where we're going. So we've bypassed Peyia, if you understand me. And if you see that big sign there, it says Polis, Kathikas and Peyia, because of course halfway up this hill you can turn back into Midtown Peyia, if you understand me. So we are going to take a right, and we're going to wiggle and we're going to waggle up the wiggly waggly road all the way to Kathikas. So kick back, you're going to enjoy the drive. It's a very, very nice drive, leisurely drive with some spectacular views, that is for sure. So Mr. Allen, knock on the machine, kick it up to 2 or 3 miles an hour. We're going uphill, remember. And who's on the breakfast sofa this morning? Let's have a quick look. Yep, Miss Dawn, she's there. Mr. Sean's there hanging on to Daisy, because Daisy's trying to jump onto the screen. She wants to come back to downtown Paphos because she understands it's a little bit warmer than it is in downtown Manchester. Who else is there? Ah, there he is, Mr. Roger. He's got Miss Anne sitting on his lap, and they're all getting ready to have a nice little trek out towards Kathikas. And Mr. Doug, have you finished your housework? Have you finished? Yes? Right. Sit your bottom down. Here we go. Oh so sweet Lady Caroline, get your little cushion out, because the road, to be honest, it's not too bad, but there is the odd little part where you're gonna need that cushion. And don't forget, don't fall off, because you might get stranded. Although you never know, Nigel may even strangle you, that's for sure. If I was you, I'd pour him another glass of the Nigel Big Guns. That's what I would do. Right, double trouble. Who are they? Well, These are the two identical twins who used to hang out in downtown Coral Bay with their superstar of a grandfather, Arthur Payne, who used to wiggle and waggle around the area in an old Merc. Yes, there we are, a man after my own heart. So I'm probably almost as old as him, and to be honest, well, you never know. Anyway, let's go. Sir Simon, Sir Jeremy, kick back and enjoy the ride. You're in the back and we're chuckling away and we're having a bit of a chat. We've all got straight jackets on because everybody knows, including my tonic JJ and Mr. Andy, who likes to wiggle his rear end as he races around the lanes of North Shropshire, even on these wet and damp mornings and nights. He understands that he's got a BMW, you see. He's chasing that BMW sponsorship deal. But I'm going to stick with the old girl, the old Merc, because she's that little bit more comfortable, especially if you're driving around Paphos, because the roads are absolutely Sherlock Holmes and way, way beyond, to be honest. So sit back, get the frappe, kick off the shoes and enjoy the drive. It's going to take us about 15 minutes, by the way, from here. So keep going on, keep going, and I'll give you a bit of warning towards the end and you can ramp it up and get a bit of a sweat. Spectacular views whether you're going uphill or whether you're coming downhill. It's that kind of road. It's been carved into a mountainside. And I remember when I first came to Cyprus in 2008, this was like a single track road. And I remember driving along it and there was cars coming the other way, like the clappers. And I was thinking, my God, where have I come? Am I in Botswana or something like that? And no one seemed to have any fear. And that continues to this day, by the way. When you're driving around in Cyprus, they don't tend to drive fast, but they tend to drive without much consideration or thought for you or for themselves, by the way. And it's not personal, it's nothing to do with you being a foreigner. They drive the same way towards their own, if you understand me. When you are in downtown Paphos and you come to a junction, I mean, what can I say? It's a free-for-all, that's for sure. They say the chandeliers in Paris or whatever it is, they say that's bad. Well, you try driving in and around downtown Paphos, and then you're going to be scared the life out of you, and you're going to be wishing you were French. Don't know about that, but anyway, you never know. Leave the French alone. Leave the French alone. They're not too bad. Do you remember Waterloo, boys? Oops! Stop. Right, back to the road. This is like a foresty area up here, and it's quite a nice area to come and have a walk around. And then just further up, you've got a picnic area, so you can wibble and wabble around. And at the end of the day, you can have a great time picnicking, because, well, that's what it is. And there's some nice tables, and you've got some spectacular views out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. That's if you stand right at the end of the picnicking area. But just up here, there's a sign now. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but I will. It's called the Piniki Picnic Site. So if you were to take a right there, see that there, that dirt track, and go down there for about 400 or 500 meters, you will find a big parking area, and you'll find a seating area, and you can hang out and have a nice picnic. So there you go, Mr. Ian. Get hold of Miss Janet next time you're over in the Rent-A-Wreck, and that could be the perfect place for you to go and have a picnic or two. You never know. There you go, Caroline. Told you the roads were absolutely Sherlock Holmes. That was a massive channel that they dug into the road, and the water, because it's been raining for the last couple of days, has made it that little bit worse. Now we're rapidly climbing up, by the way. We're probably around about 1,000 meters above sea level already. By the time we get to Kathikas, I think it's about 1,800 meters above sea level. So of course it actually has its own sort of microclimate. When you are there in the winter, it can get quite cold and damp, and then in the summer, well, it's a little bit cooler than it is down in the Peyia area, obviously, because it's that little bit higher. And often on a clear day, you can get a truly spectacular view out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. And there's an awful lot of foreigners living up in the Kathikas area, because, well, it's a very nice place to be. And you can also cut down through an escape road if you go hunting back through our previous videos last week, where we cut down towards the main Paphos to Polis highway. So you can miss out coming the Peyia way, if you understand me, and you can go straight down to Paphos. And you could be in Paphos from Kathikas in probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes at a more leisurely pace. And to Peyia, I say it's about 15 minutes. So a lot of people come from Kathikas down to Peyia and they go and shop in and around the Coral Bay area, and of course they go to the Paphos supermarket, which is possibly the best supermarket in the whole of Paphos if you're a foreigner, because it stocks an awful lot of things that we like: curly whirlies, Rolos, dare I say it, Pepsi Max. Ugh! I've got to go and wash my mouth out with soap, I really have. But all sorts of things, and it sells various things that have been frozen in the UK before they come out, like British bread, British bacon, that kind of thing. So that's the place to go to get that special food. Next time you're out, Mr. Andy, drag my tonic JJ with you, and instead of her feeding you all this Sherlock Holmes, as you keep saying, you take her in there and really push the boat out. And you can get some nice Danish bacon, some wall sausages, some nice fresh mushrooms, and some nice eggs, and have a nice fry up. And I tell you what, I'll pop down with a bit of marmalade and a half pint of Witherspoons for you, and we can have a bit of a party. There we go. So you can see the skies are, well, they're not blue, but well, they're not too bad. They're overcast, should we say. There's clouds about. They forecast rain again tomorrow, so you know, it's not the greatest place in the world, but I understand compared to many places in the northern hemisphere, it's not too bad at all, because the temperature, yeah, Miss Dawn, if you're wondering, we're up in the mountains now, by the way, that's where we are. It's about 10 degrees according to the old girl. Oof. Ice age. Miss Daisy, you don't want to come back. Stay in the nice central heated house in Manchester. Wait a bit longer. Come back in March. That's when you want to get your Cypriot passport out and see if you can get one of these repatriation grants and claim you're a refugee and all that sort of stuff. And before you know it, you'll be driving around in a Porsche Cayenne, speaking the lingo. Kalispera, Kalimera, Yassas, Boyo. That's a bit of Welsh in there as well. Anyway, rapidly we are now approaching downtown Kathikas. That's what we're doing. Now, word of warning, by the way, if you do get a rent-a-wreck, or you've stolen a car, borrowed a car, or you've got a car, if you are on this road, the Gumbarus in blue, yeah, the boys in blue, the policemen, they do like to hang out by the side of the road. And like I say, cigarette in one hand, frappe in the other. And they've got their flip-flops on as well, because, you know, they're waiting for the summer to come back. And they always look glum, and they always look a bit sad, because they are waiting for you. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for you to speed. And then when you speed, oh my God, do they start laughing? Do they start smiling? They start dancing on the spot, and they get really excited as they issue you with a €75 fine on the spot. And if you're doing more than about 120 kilometres an hour, well, I'm going to put you in the back of the police car and take you straight to court. Simple. There we go. So, please stick to the speed limits, and remember, you don't really know the roads that well either, and there are some dangerous corners and some dangerous bends, and well, there's a lot of bad drivers on the road wherever you are in the world, so please be very careful. Now, technically we have entered, shall we say, Lower Kasonaga. Marika is stealing my English and I'm confusing my villages. Lower Kathikas. So it's just begun. We have arrived. So let's let the camera keep going for a bit, and I'll say thanks for watching. And if you really like what you see, please hit that like, click the subscribe, and why not come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter lunacy. And if you really want to watch the channel grow, and you want to watch us go to new places, please consider buying us a coffee or two. We'll convert that into liquid benzene, which is petrol, and we'll pop it in the tank, and we'll continue to bring you these little snapshots in time and the moments of madness of Mr. Paul. Thanks for watching. Go, Caroline. Nice big bump in the road. Told you to hang on to that pillar. Have another slurp. on the big guns. Lord Nigel, have another slurp. You'll be all right. Thanks for watching.